The Battle for Castle Itter was an assault on an Austrian castle led by the elite German fighting force, the Waffen-SS. The castle was primarily defended by the US Army and the German Wehrmacht. It is said to be the only time where these two armies fought together in World War II. To fully understand the strangeness of this event, we're going to need some context. On May 2, 1945, the army of the Soviet Union had finally taken what remained of Berlin. While Germany no longer had any chance of winning the war, many Waffen-SS divisions continued to battle the Allies. As the Allies freed POW and concentration camps alike, many leaders and their personnel fled in fear of losing their lives. After Dachau, the first concentration camp created by Nazi Germany, was surrendered to the Americans, the US Army moved in to liberate the camp. Hearing of the approach of the US Army, Dachau camp commandant Edward Weite escaped to Castle Itter, a nearby prison for French government officials that did not agree with the Nazi occupation. Commandant Weite would die at the castle the next day. However, there are conflicting reports on what caused his death. One source states that he was killed by prisoners, while another states that he killed himself. Regardless of how he died, the commander in charge of the prison fled the castle with his troops, but remained nearby. The now free but still trapped prisoners sent out two messengers to try and gain assistance from any nearby Allied troops. The first prisoner that was sent out, Zvonimir Kukovic, found the 104th Infantry Division led by Major John T. Kramers. Major Kramers sent out tanks accompanied by soldiers to the castle. The second messenger, Andreas Krobert, came across 10 Wehrmacht soldiers and Waffen-SS captain Kurt Siegfried Schrader, who were no longer fighting for the Nazi cause, led by Major Sepp Gongel. Major Gongel and his troops were protecting the town of Vogel along with the Austrian resistance against SS attacks. Major Gongel agreed to help the prisoners escape and contacted an American tank commander, Captain John C. Lee. Lee was performing recon in the area with multiple tanks, but had to leave all but his own behind when they came across a weak bridge. Captain Schrader, Major Gongel, the Wehrmacht soldiers, Captain Lee's single M4A3E8 tank named Basat and Jenny, and 16 US soldiers who were escorting the tank arrived at the castle after fighting past the SS troops surrounding Itter. Once they reached the castle, preparations were immediately made to withstand any assault to retake the castle. 200 Waffen-SS assaulted Castle Itter on the morning of May 5, 1945. A total of only 28 soldiers, one tank, and an assortment of elderly fringe politicians stood in their way, with Kramer's troops nowhere to be seen. The Waffen-SS had brought with them multiple flak guns, including a flak 41 88mm and two 20mm flak guns. The SS used them to devastate the castle walls and eventually destroy Captain Lee's tank. Major Sepp Gongel was fatally wounded and died. Just as the Waffen-SS made their final push and the defenders were just about out of ammo, Major Kramer's reinforcements arrived with a large amount of soldiers and a column of tanks. The Waffen-SS were swiftly defeated, with many being taken prisoner by the United States or running from the battlefield. The defenders of Castle Itter were victorious, and World War II had finally come to an end.